All right, Lori, we can get started if you want to do the intros.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. My name is Lori Poleo with JMT. Just to let everybody know, this meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics. So going down the list, David Haggerty. David Haggerty is on the line. Jeffrey Dunn. Jeffrey Dunn is also on the line. Brenton Mosher.
Hi, Brenton Mosher, USF Cutter.
Mark Easty.
Mark Easty, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and Pinellas CTST Chair.
Chelsea Favero.
Hey, good morning. Chelsea Favero, Ford Pinellas.
Kathy Gadamer.
Kathy Gadamer, City of Dunedin Community Development.
Eric Henry.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Eric Henry with FDOT District 7 Traffic Safety Office.
Richard Intrante. Richard Intrante is also here. Jason Jackman.
Hi, everyone. Jason Jackman, Cutter.
Jeffrey Estash.
Jeffrey Estock from St. Pete PD Traffic Section, filling in for Sergeant Shade.
I have you. Jennifer Hall.
Good morning, everyone. Jennifer Hall, co-owner Nations Traffic Safety School and chair of the board for ADCF Florida.
Jim Hartwell.
Good morning, Jim Hartwell, Element Engineering Group.
Blaine Loring.
Blaine Loring, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and Pinellas Vice Chair.
Mashid Arste.
Good morning, Mashid Arste, American Quality Consultants, FDOT Safety Ambassador.
Logan O'Brien.
Hello, Logan O'Brien, PE trainee with the FDOT.
Jim Reiser. Jim Reiser's on the call. LEL. Joan Rice.
Joan Rice, Pinellas County Public Works.
John Ryman.
Good morning, John Riemann, Pinellas County Public Works.
Sheila Rainey.
Good morning, Sheila Rainey, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, Florida Suncoast Save Kids.
Autumn Westerman. Autumn Westerman is with Pinellas County Schools, Transportation. Her mic isn't working. Is there anyone else on the call that I have missed?
Rick Hartman, City of Clearwater, Transportation Planner.
David Haggerty, Neighborhood Transportation Coordinator, City of St. Petersburg.
I think there's a Denise Crace.
Yes, Denise is with Pinellas County Sheriff's Office in the Grants Administration Office.
Okay, I believe that is everybody.
All right, thank you, Lori. We will go through. Next thing is the approval of the March minutes. Lori sent that out, so if somebody can approve it, and then I'll need a second.
Jim Hartwell with Element, motions to approve.
Thank you, Jim.
Kathy Gadamer, second.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to committee reports, and we'll start with enforcement. St. Pete PD, any traffic initiatives or anything last month, or anything coming up this month?
We're continuing with our motorcycle safety operations. We're running those at least once a week for 4 hours. with 4 officers focusing on motorcycle safety. We're also continuing with the HVE operations, focusing on pedestrian safety for the upcoming month.
All right, thank you. Is there anybody else? I didn't see anybody else from any law enforcement agencies on.
Mark, you want me to jump in on this real quick? I got a couple things for the enforcement group.
Yeah, good.
Good morning, everybody. Jim Reiser, District 7 Law Enforcement Liaison. Sorry I missed that initial call out. Getting some mic issues here. Hopefully y'all can hear me good. Going off what St. Pete said, this directly for them. I do have your motorcycle safety materials. I'll be giving them hopefully to you guys within the next week. So you guys will have some more things to get out as far as safety materials on your stops. Looking on statewide and in the local area to the law enforcement liaison program, we just completed the entries for the law enforcement safety challenge. They're being reviewed right now. Hopefully we will get notice to the agencies within the next month of whether they placed in the challenge. For those of you who don't know, it just tracks traffic safety, outreach and enforcement activities that are conducted by a particular agency during a calendar year. So right now we're looking at 2024. Those agencies that submitted applications to the challenge and are deemed to have the most impact in all areas, including officer involvement, training, enforcement, things of that nature. They're going to be invited to Orlando to receive an award in July at our Law Enforcement Safety Challenge Award ceremony. So those are in progress right now. We had really good participation by District 7 in relation to years past. So we're hoping some agencies placed in our area are up against agencies of your same size statewide. So I'll be getting those notifications out shortly. And then, Lieutenant, we've got Click It or Ticket coming up in May over the Memorial Day weekend. I'll be pushing out information to the agencies for that. Any law enforcement on this call that needs safety materials for occupant protection for that time period. I believe that runs through the 16th through Memorial Day weekend. Might be a little off on the dates. That's going to be a nationwide Click It or Ticket initiative as the start of summer. So we got some good things coming up. And if I have any questions, or if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or in the chat. But at this time, I'll yield back.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else from law enforcement?
And Mark, I'll just add really quick that the Ely 3 enforcement operations ended on Monday the 31st. So I'm getting the final details from the agencies and compiling those and getting their equipment orders. Our ceremony will be in June. And we've submitted our scope of work for the next Ely, which they're hoping to kick off in May or June.
All right. Thank you, Brenton. Anybody else with enforcement? All right, so Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, on March 6th and 7th, I attended the Florida Impaired Driving Coalition. Just a couple of things that came out of that. I hadn't been to one of those in a while due to my prior assignment, but apparently FDOT through NHTSA got a grant to update the statewide crash form. Hasn't been updated since June of 2013. So they're going to hopefully be starting the implementation sometime next year. So we'll have a new updated crash form, which will be used statewide, and it'll also be used with the, whatever e-crash reporting system law enforcement's using. The other thing that came out of that is Senate Bill 138, or what they're calling Trenton's Law. Basically, it's adding some verbiage to the DUI statute to include any impairing substance. Currently, as the statute stands now, it's either somebody's breath or blood alcohol over a 0.08 or any chemical or controlled substances. The issue that we run into in law enforcement with the controlled substances, and we kind of ran into this years ago, if you remember Ambien, Ambien wasn't a controlled substance under the 89313 Florida state statute and was really impairing people. And if we arrested somebody that was impaired by it because it wasn't covered under 89313, therefore the state attorney's office could not prosecute it. This has been brought up numerous times and it's been quickly shot down. This one right now is actually, it's got some traction. It's been through some subcommittees, just went through a policy committee, and it's, we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely getting some traction this time. March 10th through the 14th, St. Pete College had a radar laser class that I taught. There were a total of 18 students in there, 15 from Pinellas County. So we have 15 new officers out there that are able to conduct speed enforcement. We finished up working ELEE. We're still working HVE and our speed grants. Last Saturday on March 29th, I attended MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving's West Central Florida Gala, which was at SeaWorld. It was a pretty cool event. They had a bunch of keynote speakers there, the chief for Claremont PD, the mayor of Orlando, Demings gave a speech virtually, but it was a pretty cool event, raising awareness. So it was my first time attending that. As far as next month goes, for law enforcement folks on here, we are hosting an IPTM course called the Medical Foundations of Visual Systems Testing, and it's a free class from April 9th through 11th. Well, we continue to work HVE and the speed grant. And tomorrow, we are actually going out to Tampa International Airport to welcome home Deputy Delashai. For those that don't know or may not have heard, he was involved in a very significant crash back in October of 2024, coming into work after Hurricane Milton, and received a very severe, basically TBI. And he's been up at a very well-known hospital up in Atlanta, getting some physical therapy. So he's finally finished that and is coming back home. So we're going to do a big welcome back for him tomorrow. That's all I have for Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. All right, did anybody from any other law enforcement jump on? I don't see any. Chelsea, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I had a question. In the last set of comments, it was referenced that there's a new crash form coming. Can someone speak to what the differences might be between the existing crash form and the new one that's coming out?
Yeah, so from what I gather, it's basically either adding certain categories or deleting categories that the state doesn't need to track. But one of the issues I kind of ran into is some of the categories that they're adding to the crash form is the definitions of them are kind of confusing. But the unfortunate thing is those definitions come from NHTSA. But it's just adding just more categories and deleting categories that the state doesn't necessarily have to track. Hopefully that answers your question.
It does.
Also sounds like, sorry, I was just going to say, it sounds like they're adding a lot of kind of interesting stuff, some stuff related to micromobility. So hopefully we'll finally be able to track that kind of stuff as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Is there going to be like a draft circulated so we can kind of get ahead of what we think is going to be added and what might be coming off?
Yeah, there's a meeting next month that I'll be attending, so I'll see if they have any type of draft. They're still kind of working. They've been working on. Apparently, the state of Florida received the grant sometime last year, so they've been in the process of working on it. Again, I haven't been to a FIDC meeting in a while, so kind of heard about it midway, but I'll see what I can grab from them to see what specifically it is that they're going to add or delete. Like one of them, the things that we have to put on the form is, when the tag expired. I don't really see the need why FDOT or NHTSA really needs to track if somebody's tag was expired or not. It's not really a contributing factor to a crash.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
All right. Anyone else have any questions about that or Senate Bill 138?
I think once, because they've been going through DHSMV and presenting at all the coalitions. So I heard them kind of give the same spiel at the Teen Safe Driving Coalition. I think maybe once they've got it narrowed down a little bit more as far as what they're going to try to do with the new crash report form, I'm going to try to see if I can't rope somebody from DHSMV into presenting to the CTSTs, just so we can all have that kind of information ahead of time, like you said, Chelsea.
Yeah, that would be perfect, Eric. I could tell you some of the definitions and some of the stuff that they wanted to add is very, very confusing.
Yeah, it was a ton
So
of stuff too.
yes, it
It was like a
was.
huge laundry list because they have whatever, federal guidelines they're going off of. There's a lot of stuff that they say, okay, if you're updating it, it has to include this, has to include this. But then there's also, 5 times that amount of like, this is optional. We would like you to have this, that kind of thing.
Yep. Yep. So, all right.
Hey, Eric, what's their timeline on that? Do we ever get when they want to implement that, actually implement it to officers in the field?
They did mention their timeline. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's pretty extensive. They're still in kind of very early, like just getting the word out, letting people know that it's coming. They're trying to form some like working groups with members of law enforcement,
right,
and then folks from the other side who do like the safety analysis with the crash data, just to kind of get their buy-in early, because it seems like in very early stages at this point. They have a lot they have to figure out as far as what they want to include, what software, what vendor they want to go with, all kinds of stuff they have to figure out.
Yeah, one
But
of
I
the
can
things
try
is going to make sure all those e-crash forms or the e-crash software platforms work with what they're looking for. I want to say, and the reason why I asked you to clarify, I heard it probably we're looking at 2027, maybe before this thing's even implemented by the time we shake it out. And just for the group's information, last time when they updated it, they really, that was a state update, and then there wasn't a whole lot of changes to it. There was some, and I think that in the end, the way Florida works, we're probably going to implement the minimum of what NHTSA is going to require on that. So yeah, there was a lot of strange new stuff that I don't think necessarily applies to the crashes, and is not going to help the engineering side or the outreach side in improving things out there. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, Jim, listening to some of the new definitions, it's definitely going to have a training curve when it gets implemented to law enforcement. I already let our command staff know, because I know when the update occurred in 2013, they had kind of like read off training, and dating back 11, 12 years ago when that happened. To me, some of these new categories and their definitions, it'll definitely be a learning curve, updating, officers, deputies, and troopers on, okay, this new category, do you check yes or do you check no, or involved or not involved? So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, the thing to keep in mind, though, importantly, and then I'll land plane as far as my comments on this is all in development before the administration changed in DC. So everything could change completely 180 from what we're dealing with now. So that's just food for thought. New people come in, new supervisors up there, and they say, "Now we don't need all that," or "We need extra." Who knows what happens? It could be, more intensive than what we think. But those are good points.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, and it could get delayed even more. I know a bunch of the FEMA courses, the in-person ones they gave canceled indefinitely. I was supposed to go to a mobile field force course next month out in Alabama, and on their website, all their in-person courses have been canceled indefinitely. So yeah, we'll see. Jennifer, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I actually took a picture of the timeline from the Teen Safe Driving Coalition when they presented. So phase 1 is 2025 for the muck alignment planning and update planning. Phase 2 is 2026, database design, muck database documentation updates. Phase 3 is software and system testing. So a full muck implementation is 2027. Phase 4 is implementation and validation 2028. And then phase 5 is training and support, final eval, and report to NHTSA 2029.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Alrighty, we'll move on to engineering. Anyone engineering, what do you have?
I don't
Pinellas
have too
County
much.
doesn't have anything.
Perfect. I don't have too much either. The only thing I can really mention is that the next round of Safe Streets for All funding just opened up. I think everybody should have received an email from me this morning with some detailed info about that. But yeah, that application cycle is open and the deadline is June 26th. It's close to $1 billion available. It's like 980 something million. So quite a bit of money that's going out. So if anybody has any ideas for grants to apply for within your respective jurisdiction, we'd be happy to team up however we can.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, Brenton, what do you got for a pit bike?
Not much. We wrapped up a pretty busy bike month. Thank you again to Pinellas Park PD for helping lead the Bike Your City ride on March 1st. Today we have someone at USF St. Pete. They are doing an event with MAD and FHP and a couple of other partners talking to people on that campus. It wasn't a very well advertised event from what I can see, but hopefully it will go well. That area that they're in does get good traffic. And we don't have too much on the horizon, but if anyone is doing anything for Bike to School Day in May, let us know. We are doing something with North Shore Elementary in St. Petersburg on Friday, May 9th.
All right, thank you, Brenton. Anybody else have anything on those two categories before we move on? All right, education.
It turns out one of the fastest growing.
Hi, this is Sheila Rainey. I have education and kind of bike ped, same.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we are wrapping up our bike safety poster contest. Pinellas County had 6 elementary schools submit. Well, 6 entries, not 6 elementary schools, I think 2 from each. And then they had, so far we've tracked over 500 views of the videos, the safety videos in Pinellas. So we're working on that. We're judging the posters on Tuesday and prizes will go out to the kids in April. And this year we were able to upgrade some prizes and do some amazing things. So they're going to get some really good stuff. And then on March 18th, Tina and Casey and I trained the Clearwater crossing guards to be helmet fitters. And so they're going to use that in their daily activities and at National Night Out as well. And I think that's all we have going.
All right, thank you. Jason Jackman, you got your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. Jason Jackman Cutter. We have a distracted driving program, awareness program. It's Distracted Driving Awareness Month. So throughout April and May, we are trying to do some events in the Tampa Bay area, whether it's tabling or we have interactive distracted driving goggles that we can do. So if you're interested, let me know and we can set something up and send a outreach educator to your event or your business. We actually have one coming up at Tampa General Hospital. So we want to do the similar over on the Pinellas side. So just let us know. And this is part of a FDOT project.
All right, thank you, Jason. Jennifer?
All right. Yes. So a couple different things. One, also, obviously attending the Teen Safe Driving Coalition. They talked about the Tulsa program, so new drivers. And the DHMV has recently had to do their 5-year effectiveness study of the BDI class, the ADI class, and the TULSA class. And so with that, looking at opportunities to better our driver education program. And so a couple different things that came out of that. But for one, I don't know if you guys know that there is actually a Senate bill and a House bill to update driver education requirements. It is Senate Bill 994 and House Bill 889, and looking at updating driver education and not just including TULSA for the under 18. So that is something that is being looked at and seriously being updated as much as possible within the Teen Safe Driving Coalition. We actually have a subcommittee, and we just finished putting together a document to update driver education as a whole so that Department of Education can look at it and hopefully update that along with some of these law changes and updates to better serve our new drivers. As we know, between Pinellas, Hillsborough, I'm actually in Orange, right? We are not doing well in that category across the board. So something that we're looking at. Some other legislation that's coming up, which I know on your end, I think it's your representative, is really against, is that handheld cell phone driving ban. So that's Senate Bill 1318 and House Bill 501. I'm sure law enforcement is very well aware, right? You have hands-free in certain areas, but it's not across the board. And so this bill is trying to make it so that if you have a phone in your hand, no matter where you're at, in your car, on the road, that you can get a ticket. So that is something that if you're following those things, those are the bills. Another one that came up in that is the traffic infraction enforcement on railroad crossings and work zones. That's Senate Bill 812 and House Bill 1275. Didn't fully understand all of that. I've been in a ton of different meetings, so I haven't had a chance myself to look at it completely and even where it's at in committees. But that was brought up just last week, so I'm sure it's still pretty out there. Something else that I want to bring up in addition to those two things is ADSEA Florida. I put it in my introduction. It is a program that is a national organization, American Driver and Traffic Safety Education Association. And we and a group of us have formed a Florida association that's dual membership with them and trying to develop a better conversation between all areas of driver and traffic safety. So if anybody is interested, we are actually having another roundtable trying to get information and what is kind of like our low hanging fruit and how we can help build what we already have here and make it better. And so I am the chair of that. And I'm going to put the website here so you guys can look. We have board meetings that actually won't be coming up until the summer, but we have a roundtable coming for defining driver education and traffic safety better. So we would love anybody that's either in education or even law enforcement, how we can help. We've had FDOT involved. We're trying to get Department of Education involved, as well as DHMV, which are all three areas that involve driver's licenses. So thank you. And if you have any questions about any of them, reach out. Also, I know that the numbers are coming out from Milton and DHSMV. So we will be collecting those and putting that into a chart. So if anybody wanted information on crashes and how it correlates with education, especially with the elections and court orders, definitely reach out to Rick or I, and we can get you that information once we've put it all together.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Autumn? Okay, I see your message in there, yeah. All right, does anyone have anything for committee reports before we move on? All righty, we'll go to problem locations. So the school buses, again, school's in session. I know all law enforcement, whenever they have the opportunity, they are enforcing those. So unless we have any specific locations that are bigger issues, that will just remain up there.
Is there an update on the Oak Grove Middle School or just the extra enforcement?
I don't have an update on that. I'll get that next month.
Okay.
All right. This one's been on here a while. I know we're just waiting for the construction to be complete. And then the St. Pete. I'll reach out to St. Pete PD, either Shade, and see if there's an update as far as the crashes are concerned, if they've gone down over there. It's been a couple of months, so that they should have some good data. Does anybody else have any other problem locations that we need to add to this?
I don't have any other locations. I just have a couple questions if I could jump in there. I misplaced my notepad. I was just wondering if you could tell me, there was a man on a wheelchair hit on 66 and 78th, I think 3 days ago. I had questions if he was homeless. I know I'll be able to find out once the report comes out, but it looked like he was. I think there's a homeless shelter care place behind that, behind 66, right where he was going. I was just wondering if you responded to that.
No, I didn't. But that area is FHP, so they would have worked the crash investigation.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll wait for the report to come out. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Mark.
Go ahead, Richard.
It's Deputy Lauren. It looked like someone Autumn put something in there about some problem locations in the chat.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. This Rick in Clearwater. How are people adding locations? I haven't done any crash analysis recently, but since our temporary offices are at Enterprise and basically Countryside and 580 and Enterprise and 580, I was, seeing multiple vehicle crashes at that intersection of Enterprise and 580, and I haven't talked to PD about it yet, but it seems like it could use some review and analysis. So I don't know how this is actually formalized as a problem location.
Yeah, those two areas that you mentioned are pretty prone for crashes, and I know the sergeant over at Clearwater PD. He does have his folks out there regularly, so I'll reach out to him and see if his folks can go out there, put a little bit more extra attention to it, and see if that decreases the crashes.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate it because I don't have a window there, but it seems like I step out and just I see something there, a couple times a week. It seems like, and then we've got Dan Nagersmith from PD on our Active Transportation Plan Advisory Committee. So I'll mention it to him as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Mashid, you're up.
Good morning again. So while the last applications are being reviewed and funded, I've been contacted by some cities and counties for new applications. That's good news. Only thing is that a lot of times the point of contact for HSIP and safe routes to school have changed. So I'm going to be sending emails out asking to confirm, and some people have already confirmed that there's still the point of contact, and if you can help me out, get the new points of contact. Sometimes in these meetings, we get law enforcement representatives, but no one from engineering. So if you can help out, like Dunedin, Pinellas Park, Tarpon Springs, if there are new contacts, please let me know. Last week, actually, it was this week, we had a good meeting with Clearwater. Their engineering contact is Anna Hewlin and Jason Johnson. Of course, I appreciate Rick attending these meetings. Thank you. But as you know, new contacts in engineering, when people's roles and responsibilities change, please let me know. I really appreciate it. Of course, there's always a good time. Now is a good time to submit some more applications, but there's a big opportunity for funding for safe routes to school applications. Emmett was telling me about it too. So if you need any help for new applications, please let me know. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shee. Does anybody have any questions regarding that? All right, we'll move on to the fatal map. So as of this time last year, we had 29 crashes with 31 fatals. This year, we are at 24 fatal crashes with 25 fatals, so it's lower, which is good. And the final report from 2024 was lower than 2023. So in 2023, we had 102 fatal crashes with 110 fatals. And last year, the final numbers were 99 fatal crashes with 106 fatals. So, we improved from 2023. So hopefully we can continue to keep that going. Anyone have any questions about the fatal crash map and reporting?
Lori, do you have that year at a glance kind of crash data thing that you can share?
Yes. Yes, so here is the 2024 safety facts at a glance sheet. This is also in the District 7 safety newsletter. So this shows that for all of District 7, we are down in total crashes, total severe injuries, and total fatalities. The down green arrows represent a decrease from 2023, and then the red represents an increase from 2023. So we have this broken down by county as well. So Pinellas County, we are down in total crashes in 2024, but we're up in severe injury and fatality. So although total crashes are down, we're still up in those serious injury crashes. We also have a graph with the 5-year statistics. This is for all of District 7. So for all of District 7, we are down in the total fatalities, 476 versus 505. For severe injuries, we have 2513 versus 2625, so also down there. And then lastly, for total crashes, we are also down by a little bit. Then we also have all crashes, fatalities, and severe injuries for District 7 broken down by emphasis area. So we're up in aggressive and speeding for all crashes and fatalities, but down for severe injuries. And then this also highlights some of the other emphasis areas. We're up in motorcycle, all crashes and fatal crashes, as well as aging road user and teen driver were up in all crashes, but down by fatalities and severe injuries. So this shows the different trends of 2024 versus 2023. We also have a graph, roadway systems where crashes occurred, broken down by all crashes, severe injury, and fatalities for the different types of roadway networks. So we have city and county streets, state and U.S. highways, limited access facilities, and other, all broken down there. We also have vulnerable roadway users for all of 2024. So 94% no vulnerable road users involved for all crashes, 2% pedestrian, 2% bicycle, 2 motorcycle. I think Chelsea has her hand up.
Yeah, I just had a question. This is a fantastic report. I've never seen this before. Can you tell me where I can find this online?
Yes, Brenton, do you mind posting the link to the newsletter in the chat?
Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you so much.
And we should also have an email blast going out sometime this week, which will have a link to it to view as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I got. We also have driver age on here. Shows that males overall have more crashes than females. Just any additional statistics. So I like this visualization compared to just the standard fatal crash maps. It gives a different representation of the data. Jim?
Looking at this compared to the previous our fatal crash map, didn't he say that we went down, but this shows we went up in fatalities? I think
Yeah,
he
just
had
a
100. I think he had 106, and then this shows that we. Well, that's one of.
I think
So
one might be fatal crashes and one might be fatalities.
Yes, I was about to say that this is fatal crashes and then
Okay.
yeah, fatalities. So like you could have
Two
two
people.
fatalities and
Okay.
one fatal crash. Yeah, correct.
I got you. Thank you.
And plus it also depends, like the data downloads, this is unofficial data. It's always subject to change. They're always adding more crash reports and crashes into the system. These numbers could change in the near future as well.
Thank you.
That's everything that I have with that.
All right. Thank you, Lori. All right. We will move on to the open forum. Jason Jackman, you got it. Anything for the Tampa Bay Citizen Safety Academy?
Wait, oh, back. Excuse me. Open forum?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this Rick. I just wanted to share with the group before everyone signs off. I'm putting in the chat. We have a community workshop for the active transportation plan coming up at 5:30 on April the 10th, the Thursday at Countryside Library. And also we have a survey that's been out for the public that's still going to be open another couple of weeks. And I just wanted to share it with everybody. I know several people on here have already seen this and heard about this from me several times. So just putting it out there and hopefully spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Jason Jackman, did you have anything for the open forum?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and do a short presentation. So this is the Tampa Bay Community Safety Academy. It's a Florida Department of Transportation District 7 program. My name is Jason Jackman. I'm with Cutter. And yeah, this is basically a virtual course for citizens in the Tampa Bay area within District 7. It's a synchronous course. So as opposed to asynchronous, which is like, you could it's live, we're hosting it, we're having discussions, and we're having discussions about safety initiatives. It's for the communities in Tampa Bay that include all the counties within the region. So it's very exciting because this is based off of one of the projects we worked on previously from USDOT, the National Institute for Congestion Reduction. The Citizens Academy, we worked with the City of Tampa on this one. And we created a guide for developing citizen academies. So we're taking a lot of these best practices and applying them to this new program we're doing in District 7. So we're very excited about this. The project team, myself and Tia Boyd, we worked on the previous Citizens Academy. So we're going to take, again, a lot of our lessons learned, our best practices, and apply them to this project. The project objectives, we want to engage the community members in the district, empower participants to become safety ambassadors. So we're going to really, teach and educate on these safety initiatives that are going on, nationally, statewide, and very district specific. Again, this is a big partnership with FDOT District 7. So we want our community members that are participating in this to know what's going on within their district as far as the safety initiatives. And after that, we're hoping that they do become those safety ambassadors for their communities locally. We are currently developing the course. We have the syllabus going right now. This will be a 6-week program with 6 modules, one per week. Each module will be a different safety initiative, which I'll show you in just a second. We'll have weekly agendas. It's 100% virtual. Again, it's live. However, we will have a recording option for participants who can't attend. We're looking at this as an hour-long session. So we definitely want them to come back and not feel like, well, this 2 hours is too long. We want to make it fun and memorable for the participants. So we will have a recording for them if they can't attend. What I'm asking from you all is we are putting together a focus group to kind of help develop the curriculum and kind of go through it and see what we need to change. So if you're interested and want to be in this focus group, we're putting a group together, maybe around 15 members of this focus group, mainly from the CTSTs in District 7. That's what we're hoping for, pulling a few from each CTST. And then, hopefully we can really develop a core program for District 7 and then implement it in the fall. Registration is free. It is, again, a virtual safety course. It is online registration. The window is to be determined for registration. However, participation is capped at 35, and there's a reason for that based on our experience. If you have too many people attending a virtual course, it becomes less interactive. And that's the thing. We want to keep it interactive and keep the discussion going. So while we'll be presenting the information and we may have some guest speakers too, we definitely want to keep them engaged throughout the course. And again, it's community members in District 7. Here are some of the safety modules we're going through right now. We're developing these, and hopefully our focus group will help kind of revise and give us some suggestions to go through with our modules. Again, there's 6 modules, 1 presentation per week out of those 6 weeks. We'll evaluate the course. We'll survey the participants. In the registration, there'll be a survey. After each module, each week, we'll probably survey them again, and then we'll survey them post-course with some questions, and then that'll all go into the final report. Other than that, if you're interested in being in the focus group, my email's right here. Just let me know, and we'll get back to you. We'll put you on the list. But yeah, happy to be engaged with this and the community and a partner with our local agencies. So thank you. Any questions? I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Jason. One quick question I do have is, that's just going to be a one-time course for 35. I get you. You're probably spot on with that. Having too many people, you're going to have less participation. But it's going to be more courses afterwards where it's more than 35, or it's just a one-time deal.
We're testing it out, see how it goes, and this goes through December, and after that we'll see what we can do after that. But yeah, I know 35 is the cap. It would be nice to do more, but we want to kind of build kind of this safety course for citizens and kind of see what works, what doesn't work, and then go from there, and then maybe do more.
Sounds good. Chelsea, you have a question?
Yeah, thanks. This is a great project. I guess I'm wondering, is the goal of this to educate the residents on kind of what goes on behind the scenes, or is the goal to kind of make them more safe as individuals living in the Tampa Bay area?
I'd say it's both. We want them to become ambassadors. We want them to understand the processes of crash types and what the data collection. We definitely want them to inform them on Target Zero and safe system approach. And then, when they become ambassadors, not only will they be safer and be more knowledgeable on safety, it's to share with their communities too. So we're hoping this is an ambassador program that, help changes our culture of safety within their respective areas. And, the other thing is we don't want, 35 members just from Pinellas. That's the thing. We want, through all the districts, have representation of community members. And we're looking at novice too. We don't want someone who's really knowledgeable in traffic safety and not really getting too much out of this. We want someone who's just really new to the safety field and to really learn a lot. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Someone to learn a lot and kind of put the light bulb up and say, well, okay, I'm going to share this with my community. So it's starting small, but hopefully we can expand on it.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then would you consider, as part of the focus group, having someone that isn't part of the CTST? I know, at least at Fort Pinellas, we often will send our surveys to our administrative team, because they have an eye to make sure that we're not using terminology that doesn't relate to them. So would you consider that, or are you just looking at CTSD participation in that?
No, that's a great point. I think that's something we can definitely look into, and I think that's a great idea for sure. I mean, the sometimes the jargon just drives people away, so I think that's awesome. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right. Any other questions? All righty. Thank you, Jason. That was a good presentation.
Thank you.
A couple things I want to add before we head out, and then I'll see if anybody else has anything. What was it, last week? The new opening of the southbound Howard Franklin Bridge. I don't know if anybody got to experience that. I have yet to drive that yet. I'm still enjoying the gateway to and from work, but that finally opened up. And I'm sure, Lori, you're going to bring this up, but we're probably not going to have a meeting next month because we have the CTST mega meeting May 8th in Citrus County. And I know this is a little while out, but just to throw it on you guys' radar, MAD is doing, we had the inaugural one last year, so this will be the second annual Golf Like MAD at Crescent Oaks Golf Club in Tarpon Springs. It'll be on Monday, October 13th. So for you golf enthusiasts that want to come out and support a good cause, we will have we'll be hosting it at Crescent Oaks. Last year we kind of got a little bit derailed because of the storms. We actually had to push it back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can dodge some of the hurricanes this year and avoid the mess that we had to endure last year. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything for new business?
Yeah, so the CTST mega meeting that Mark mentioned is on May 8th at Citrus Springs Community Center in Citrus County. There will be an RSVP link sent out next week with additional information. There'll be some panels and great presentations. So we look forward to seeing you all there. And if Mark is available, we would love to have him present a short 5-minute presentation on some of the accomplishments and things that we did within the past year with Pinellas CTST and what makes us different and unique. So if anybody has any ideas to bring to the table on that presentation, let me or Mark know to get that incorporated into the presentation.
Yeah, Lori, I will be there, and I'm going to start working on it here soon. So if anybody has anything to add, I can throw it in there.
Eric, did I miss anything on that topic?
Nope, I think you covered it all.
I assume it's going to be similar to last year's.
Yep, similar but different. So we're doing another panel again this year, but it will be micromobility focused instead of law enforcement. And then another great slate of presentations.
All right, sounds good. All right, does anybody have anything else before we adjourn? All righty, thank you guys for attending, and we will see you actually in June. We had to switch the date up a little bit, so we'll get that out to you guys. It won't be the first Thursday of the month. So have a good week, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I think.
Thank you.
Goodbye.